Nothing controversial, right? Yeah. Hong Kong is awesome. I miss the food.
Начинаем, да, Следя? Hello, everyone. Nice to meet all of you here. I am Sergey Sevantsyan, host of this decentralized television about innovations and blockchain technologies. Unfortunately, Catherine Ross can't join us today because of get infected of coronavirus and get sick. All ThinkTank community wish her get well as soon as possible and remind you to take care about yourself. Guys, wanna attract your attention. Today is November 17 on 2020 and Bitcoin hits 70K price today. The same situation with DeFi, similar numbers, the same time frame. Unbelievable, you know? Anyone believe in numerology maybe? I will remind you, in 2017, Bitcoin hits 20K price. The same situation with ICO when interest gone down because of the highest price condition and status of the Bitcoin. And the same stuff happening now with DeFi when blockchain rocketing during last week and month. Today, we're going to talk about why Bitcoin is not decentralized finance. With big pleasure, I welcome Chieh Liu, an international evangelist in the blockchain and cryptosphere who worked as an advisor for several financial investment institutions, helping to introduce blockchain education into Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and the Chinese market. I'm also welcome Rico. He is also here with us in our community. But first, let Chieh talk about how he treat Bitcoin, not DeFi.
How am I? Hi guys, hi everyone. So
hello.
Okay, you're saying how we treat Bitcoin, not DeFi. Well, Bitcoin obviously is not DeFi. So I'm here want to share this because I'm quite excited right now to see the Bitcoin price go up to 1,700, 70,000, and let's be fair. I know lots of us traders they don't really care about what is behind Bitcoin. They just want like lots of us like to hold Bitcoin, right? And same for me. Large of my portion is holding Bitcoin. And if you talk about back to 2017, the ICO boom compared to right now the DeFi boom, we can see lots of similarity going on for the market. Bitcoin right now 17,000, and recently we can see Grayscale. They just announced they have hold over 500,000 Bitcoin. Like they are the largest institution company to hold that large amount of Bitcoin investment. So that you can see there are more adoption coming in from institutional, which is good sign for us. And for individual holders like us, like whoever like to hold Bitcoin, it's a good sign because we don't need to care about much about the volatility of the Bitcoin. we just hold it, and then hopefully this end of this year we can see what's happening, like 2017 go up to 20,000. So exciting year. Unfortunately, this year, like COVID-19 happened, all of us has to like stay in ground, cannot go anywhere. But at the end, we see the market grow. We see people still trust in Bitcoin and blockchain. However, DeFi is still new to us. Last time I think I spoke about this a little bit. So it's a fast growing industry. It's a amateur product for DeFi. So people might get too excited to get into DeFi without knowing too much stuff. So be careful of the volatility of the DeFi. However, Bitcoin, I'm looking strong with Bitcoin.
Perfect. Rico, maybe another point of view, what's happening with the DeFi sector, because today everything with Uniswap has finished. There is no rendering, for example, how it's lending, rendering, or farming all the unit tokens, and the price is reflecting simultaneously. Yes, it goes down over 2 billion. Market has gone down over 2 billion. Maybe is the reason why DeFi sector is not interested, but I don't think so. I'm looking for your opinion.
I think it's just more of a market sentiments that we are looking at the moment, with all the what Chieh Liu shared just now. I believe that DeFi is also part of it, following the bigger trend, and also what the whales are doing with their money before Christmas. They have to do some shopping, and make some money. So I think that's where the trend is. Every year we've seen for the last so many years. November month is going to be a very fun and exciting month. And then when it comes to maybe December towards the end of the year, and January be like, oh, be boring, not much movement. And for the traders, we all know that. So I think it's interesting that this is happening. And today is the day we saw Bitcoin went up to 17,000. And thank you again for all the Bitcoin shillers out there. Good job, especially from the Wall Street guys, especially all the corporates in the big corporates, especially from MicroStrategy, MicroSaylor, and everyone. PayPal has been putting out a lot of attention to Bitcoin and the value of it, and where it's the future, where Bitcoin is heading. All this FOMO did help a lot. So I would say thank you on behalf of the Bitcoin and crypto communities. I think everyone is in a very high time, so to speak. But don't be sad about the DeFi thing. I think Uni is just one of the DEX, and we all know what DEX is about. It's all about liquidity pool. So we always see a lot of opportunities coming out with other DEXs in the market. If they can improve their algos, their gas fees, and the user experience, UX, UI, and let people have easier stakings done and higher returns APY, I think any DEX can come out. So we are looking to welcome more innovations into the DEX space, and much more better tech to make it even more competitive, and also benefit the whole and change actually how the banking, future banking should be like for all of us.
Okay. Chieh, as I know your platform, your company, I see Overbit here working with trading platforms, and I know somehow analyze all this stuff happening around the market. For me, it's very interesting. To be frank, we have two opportunities now, two big opportunities to be invested. One of it is Bitcoin with highest prices, and another one is changing its consensus, Ethereum. And everything, if you can stake on Ethereum and make maybe a little bit more profit. Where the market goes and how, I know, for example, Asian market being engaged in, because we speak only about Americans. Oh, Wall Street for Americans, go ahead. But what you see, all the miners are centralized in China or in Asian market. For me, is interesting. What's your point of view?
Okay, speaking of perspective from our exchange,
Yeah.
I can see the trading activity happening in our platform is more people are going long for Bitcoin. That's for sure. That's for sure. And especially for Asia, we can see there are some news. I think recently, Japan just announcing something about bank is looking forward to what was it to make some digital currency inside the bank, but then it says it still need to wait for a couple of years to finish. And then however, at the same side in China, like we can still see some hacking happening. So from both sides, people are still kind of worried about how Bitcoin price goes. And at the same time, Ethereum, what you were talking about, recently, especially for this week or two, I can see lots of activity happening in specific Bitcoin, Ethereum, because as you can see, the price of Ethereum is actually just like 2017. So the price is going up. People are saying they wanted to see Ethereum to hit 1K again, which personally I think is gonna take time, because Ethereum is not like Bitcoin, where Ethereum hold lots of different sub chains, so lots of different contracts. So the volatility of Ethereum is much higher than Bitcoin. And then for me, I would say Ethereum, we have to still pay attention to look its volatility. However, Bitcoin, I'm looking good right now, and so does our trader in Overbit. I will keep my eyes on them really closely. And by the way, we our platform trade forex as well. So people are trading less forex apparently in our platform, and because the way they see in traditional trading, it's not that attractive anymore. I can see that way. They see more opportunity trading with crypto. So that's why I see some transaction going on with a traditional trader coming into a crypto trader. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Rico, what do you think about upcoming situation regarding Bitcoin? I'm clearly I clearly see that in 2017, the same Wall Street, launches derivatives on Bitcoin. That's why that price finally, fell down. And because of derivatives, not because of market. The same thing can be done now, but I don't know why all of them staying quiet and don't do anything with this. I know what's happening. Is it some cartel within American market and let Grayscale buy all the Bitcoins from the market and then something wrapping the price? Or what's going on? Because it looks like Bitcoin now is do not engage in people's hand. Looks like it's the same way in institutional hands. What's your opinion?
My personal opinion is that all these things that whatever they said back then with ETFs or whatever, it doesn't make sense at all. Nothing to do with Bitcoin price going up or going down. Bitcoin's price volatility has been independent all along. It's not influenced by politics and any global events. Doesn't really affect it unless it's a Bitcoin crypto space event. Yeah. So I think that is much more relevant to Bitcoin pricing. And today, what we are seeing in the market, whatever is having in the financial world, the whole financial world, whichever CBDC, whatever, it shouldn't make any difference to a Bitcoin price. It's up to the Bitcoin network and its people to decide the price of Bitcoin. So, which is why some of the old money people say that we are a scam or we are fraud, because they can't even influence our price, and which is why they don't even get it. Why is the Bitcoin price value shooting up like that over the last 12 years? Like, where did it came from? What is it got to do with the traditional financial market? You don't understand it. It's nothing to do with them. it's our space. So I think more people coming to the space, forming more people to come to the space is a good thing. And I see that a lot of financial market players are coming in, putting the money in hedge with Bitcoin. I think that overall that adds up the value of the Bitcoin value globally, and we are exciting that Bitcoin's value will be shooting out very quickly, faster than what we thought. Of course, I'm not here to FOMO everyone and say, hey, Bitcoin price is going to reach 1 million soon, sooner than before, those sort of shit. No, it will take time to get there, and it will be faster looking at the rate how Bitcoin's value has been, in the whole market has been recognized as a good store value. So I think that is the important point on what we are seeing today of its value. But hey guys, traders, of course, everyone hope for it to moon. There's always a time where it would just crash anyway, just like what we see in the past. So just be careful of what you're doing and don't get caught and come back and say, oh shit, the price is dipping. And you don't need to expect anything. You will just dip whenever you want. It's nothing to do with any events. It just happen eventually, overnight.
Yeah, so
that's why I think. Rico. Yeah, that's why I think.
Yeah, I agree with Rico, because you can see for new people that just come to let's say to buy Bitcoin, they don't see the price going going the way they want, because a large portion of Bitcoin holding right now is go to institutional. So individual of us, most of us just hold a couple of Bitcoin, right, and then just hold it. And so that's another risk for us. Bitcoin going up right now as 2017, but then larger portion of the Bitcoin is holding by institutional. So they are the big whale. What they're gonna do, we don't know, right? But if they do something, they're gonna impact for us. Like I just told you that Grayscale have 500,000 Bitcoin on their hand, right? If they do something, it's gonna hurt us a lot. I think they hold like 12% of the Bitcoin, the total percentage. So what that means is they can be a pretty high risk for us to do anything. So individual trader like us, if you're trading short term, be mindful. If you're holding for long term, you probably don't want to look at the chart every day.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You are multiple times mentioned about CDBC, about digital money, and as we can aware that the same situation described in a white paper of the Bitcoin, that Bitcoin should become new kind of money that connect people with each other and tries to be new digital way to make interact between people around. Unfortunately, after 10 years or after 12 years, so many people engaged in this industry that the transactions is not enough. Not in Bitcoin, even in Ethereum is not even enough to, I don't know, to making DeFi or DeFi products on that blockchain. What do you see? How this new era of digital money should looks like? On which platform? Do it need to use blockchain as is, or it should be implemented in another space? What's your thoughts about it? Because all the world, all the governments are talking about changing fiat money to digital one. Yes, it's right way, it's evolution, but looks like it not be on the blockchain, or I don't know. Your thoughts, Rico? Maybe starting from you.
Okay. I'm definitely biased because we are involved in the tech space ourselves. We feel that the real DeFi ready blockchain is not even here yet. We don't think that Ethereum or Ethereum 2.0 is the answer. So I think we are still looking forward to a new blockchain, which is most likely a side chain of Bitcoin that can actually replace whatever we have in the current space, which can scale. Okay, we can scale on very high volume transaction speed. That is able to beat Swift, beat Visa, and Masters transaction speed per seconds, and the infrastructure that is not destructible by anybody. Like no one can shut it off. this blockchain, and it won't be congested or bottleneck the sort of jokes in the blockchain space. And then we will see real adoption of blockchain technology, by the enterprises coming in. Because until then, I don't see any possible outcome. Any central banks want to build something on the enterprise blockchain. Where is it? They can use part of it, to do certain function, a ledger or DLT, fine. But to put the whole infrastructure on the blockchain, it's not happening yet. So I think that's where we are at this stage. You still need some time to come up with new innovations to achieve that goal. On the CBDC side, yes, it's going to be more hygienic and more transparent. If any central bank starts doing what the Chinese central bank has been doing, evolved from a sovereign coin concept to become now what we call it a CBDC like thing, is different. Many CBDCs still do not use blockchain. It's just a CBDC. It's just digitizing fiat. Doesn't mean they have used any blockchain solutions. So it's two different concepts we are looking at. A sovereign coin, which is built on the blockchain, and with token issuance on the blockchain, that's been done. It's not even new. Many sovereign government, central bank done it already, but they're not telling anyone. It's very, very high level of privacy. And they can do country to country, central bank to central bank sort of transaction already. So that's what we know has been happening in the tech space. But most of the people in general probably wouldn't know much about it because it doesn't concern them. The usage is not for them. It's good to see that some governments is coming up with something, like many governments is looking at CBDC to let people start using digital fiat. But that is not the crypto thing. Most people confuse that as well. So I think we need to educate people. When you look at crypto, the only store of value crypto is Bitcoin. Everything else is a side chain of Bitcoin. You can use it for any functions you like, or build anything around it. But one day, when a real DeFi blockchain solution is out, I will see a huge migrations of projects and solutions to the new blockchain. That's what we are foreseeing to happen in the near future.
Yeah, Chieh.
Yeah, I totally agree with Rico. Like what he says, lots of people getting, confused with CBDC, with the real blockchain. And we can see, for me, I pay attention to Asia most of my time. So, and Japan and Korea, they both are launching their CBDC, I think next year. And then I think the big company, the message company called Line, in I think in Asia they use it a lot. They're trying to build a blockchain-based CBDC, which can cross several different platforms and even different countries. That is what I want to look for. Like I think with a blockchain-based CBDC, that can be much more transparent for both end users and internal company. So although it takes a lot of times. It depends on the country, right? You can see the transaction in Korea, in Japan. Their how do you say, their credit card or their the little card they use to buy stuff. I don't know what it called. Yeah, I don't know what it called. And it's really fast transaction. Even you go on taxi, you pay your credit card. You pay by your credit card. It goes just like 2 seconds. You can go. So you just tap and go. But lots of different countries don't have this kind of fast transaction yet. With blockchain, with CBDC, I think that can improve a lot. We need to have more time to see this happen, and it really depends on the like the country's strategy. China is leading, and then Japan, South Korea is following. We will see. I'm really looking forward 2021 to see how their CBDC going on.
I'd like to add on as well on that point what Chieh mentioned. One of the reasons why a lot of solutions is not happening in many countries is because the current IT infrastructure or the telco infrastructure in that particular region is not even mature enough to support sort of transaction we want to have. If you're still using 3G and 4G, you know that there will be definitely lagging. Whichever technology you use on it, even the e-wallet could be lagging, may not have signal to transact. So not even go to a blockchain side of things. Even though if we have a very good digital infrastructure for fintech, doesn't mean that it will work in the particular country or city, so to speak. It all depends on the local telco infrastructure as well. And the next thing we look into is how secure are these infrastructures in terms of the privacy and data and encryption, in terms of cybersecurity in that particular area. So I think we still have a number of challenges in the infrastructure side of things, where if any country or cities who are going towards a digital infrastructure with smart cities, building on it, the speed of data transfer has to be met first before we can talk about everything else. Secondly, security level, the protocol and security. If there's an autonomous vehicle going in that area and it's not even encrypted, do you dare to sit in that autonomous vehicle, so to speak? If there are drones flying around, freely to do delivery service, will you dare to walk around it? Or if it just crashed down? Things like that are some of the things that we need to really solve first, resolve it before we can move to the next level. I think that's where we are at this part. It's not just a matter of how blockchain or fintech is going to develop. It's a whole holistic ecosystem of a digital infrastructure that has to be foundationally has to be ready before we can build anything on it. So I think that's one of the reasons why we see that the current blockchain space is a bit moving backwards or not even developing further due to this sort of challenges that we are all facing again.
Very good point of view. Actually, my next question is about human rights in this digital space, because we clearly know about human rights in real space, but in digital one, looks like we have all the rights, but a lot of things restricted and going to be restricted much more than now. I wonder to know what's your perspective of you, because unfortunately, Asian from the worldwide perspective looks like much more restricted country, because internet looks like local. Bitcoin or mining is somehow restricted. There is no DeFi, nothing else, but a lot of Asian people being engaged in this industry. Where is the fair? Where is the consensus? Where is the consensus of that restriction between human rights in this digital world and this new era? Because we are, as humanity now, can't be without this online world. Really, it's a very interesting place. It's without borders. There is no borders at all here, and we are digitalizing everything: money, business, communication, everything goes here. And what about human rights here? What's the basic engagement, and what's the basic I don't know the right words to describe it, basic acknowledgement for the people. It must be with anyone on earth. For example, connection to the internet, connection, not a private internet, no localized connection to the internet. For example, connecting to one of the point, do not trick somehow, do not be under control every and each second, do not every time being face ID'd on every restriction on your ongoing, how it looks like. Maybe you have an option, because one part of the people say, wow, we have to defense with trafficking, with terrorism, with ML. We have to know all the people around the globe. And another one looking for anonymity. They wanna make sure that their money is they own and no one, I don't know, thieved the information, no one spread it around. Where is the point? Where is the consensus? It's a very interesting point of human right, because now this world is already existing and we can't say, oh, it's unreal. We have to go on a real life and we can forget about this, because here is everything is very interesting happening.
You bring up a really tough question here. Let's first, there's no human right in China. I'm just kidding.
Yes, it's a very interesting topic for me, because I know European people and Americans says, don't touch us. We are going to live as we know. And even now existed and appears new countries, very small countries, but they do not want to be regulated from anyone on earth, really. And now I think this is happening around the globe.
Yeah, okay. Let's coming from China, because I'm part of Chinese. So China, like the way the human right works, I think Rico know, is there any Chinese government watching your live show? It's okay. I talk back about China, right?
Yeah, it's okay, because so much people very interested how life there
Okay.
looks like. Really.
Okay, yeah. Basically, Chinese people cannot control their money. Like the richest, the richer they are, the less control they have. I can see that way. They don't have open internet, like you say, right? They don't. They cannot do lots of stuff on the internet. So
They
does
do not?
cryptocurrency cannot. Like
Wow.
they cannot go to Google. They cannot. I don't know about Zoom. They cannot do a lot of things in their internet in China, which is really bad. I can see the point of why Chinese government do this is they want to protect their money, right? Lots of rich guy, lots of money in China. They don't want the money to go out in an incorrect way. They want to go out in their favorite way. So they put up lots of different border, lots of different restriction for everyone. There's people in our platform, lots of traders coming from China as well. The way they trade, they cannot change their Chinese yen directly to Bitcoin. They have to buy USDT. So most of the trader from China, they need to buy Tether, and then they somehow transfer it into Bitcoin to do the trading.
Chieh, just let me know. I'm really sorry for my question. Looks like at least 1% of the Chinese people around the globe, at least millionaires. Or is it true 1% of all the Chinese are millionaires? Is it right? Looks like it's not.
What do you mean, like 1%?
Sergey is asking, is like among the 1.4?
Yes, among all the people living in China, at least 1% of them millionaires. That's why I know government don't let in that all the money be spread around the globe with other countries around. I don't think so, because
no. I don't think that is the question. I will let Chieh finish his point of view, then I will share mine. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I can jump in later on, because
I believe this is, I think it has to do with the civilization of the Chinese history. If you look at the history of Chinese civilization, and for the last 100 to 200 years, they have gone through a lot of hardship. And one of the problem of the failure of the previous empire was to open up their country too much, and where foreigners came in and then start robbing them. So the Chinese people has gone through a lot of hardship, which is why people like me, I'm a fourth generation of Chinese ancestors, but we have migrated out of China because life in China those days is too tough to even live by. And we all turn out to be fine. And as Chinese people outside of China, we are no longer Chinese citizens. I've lived in China for the last 12 to 13 years now. Except for this year, I'm outside of China. So I find my life in China better than my life in Malaysia. I feel very safe walking around at night, midnight, anywhere, black alley, small alley, wild place, you name it, in China, first tier city. I would say first tier city first. I used to travel a lot in China to second, third, fourth, fifth tier city. I even went all the way to Xinjiang, and lived there for like 2 weeks. and I hang out with the Xinjiang people a lot in the township. Very nice people and very friendly people, but they could be very tricky as well. Could be con man, could be thinking all kinds of ideas to trick your money. I mean, that's human behavior. So I think there are all kinds of people in this world. You have Chinese people who doesn't have the access to, by what Chieh said, Google, Facebook, and all these things. But you have a lot of Chinese people who can just install a VPN application and start browsing like you and me outside of China. So I think that is a fair treatment where, in order for a government to manage their country, there's actually certain system in place, to manage the country. That's again pros and cons. You talk about human rights. Everyone has their right as a human the day we are born, but what level of lifestyle are we having? Really depends on where you are from. So I think it's a matter of choice. I think the topic today, I think it's a matter of choice that we make for ourselves. How do we want to manage our financial freedom? All right. What sort of lifestyle do we want to live in? Migration is very easy nowadays. If a mainland Chinese people doesn't want to be a Chinese citizen, he can migrate to other countries very easily, and they're very welcome as long as they have money, right? So some of the friends that I know has more than 2 or 3 passports. Because of that, they can easily buy another passport and just leave anytime they want. They can put money out of the countries using another name, another passport name, and stuff like that. So many ways around this traditional financial system so that they can be tracked. It's not even before Bitcoin is out. There's so many digital currencies that was out before Bitcoin, and many people have been using that. So with an old financial system, they can even have 2 passports, 2 IDs, and put the money overseas in Switzerland or wherever they hide, and even put some money in the vault. So I think there's no difference in terms of how we view the whole financial system. It's about now, if you have a more convenient way of storing your wealth, in a pocket, or even just a piece of paper, writing your private keys in it. And you can just travel anywhere around the world, and you have access to it, knowing that my keys is with me. I have the key to my wealth controlled by myself. I think a lot of people are not aware of this yet. They're still used to the old conventional way of storing the wealth, managing the wealth, buying insurance, all this sort of system that has been put into place by the existing financial world. Things has changed, but they haven't realized that yet. So I think with this whole COVID-19, our lifestyle has changed. Yes, we have not much freedom. What human rights have we got now in terms of where we want to go out, who want to hang out with? If I want to travel to see you guys in Russia or in Hong Kong, there's a lot of restrictions. So I think we're talking about the same issue here. Because of all these consequences, people are looking at alternative ways of making a living. Unemployment rate is shooting up everywhere. People are losing their jobs, companies going bankrupt. It's happening, and it's going to get worse in 2021. So I think this is a golden opportunity for everyone in the crypto space to start educating your friends, families, and peers about what they have missed out for the last 20, 30 years of what happened in the cryptography space. We welcome them to join the space and be entrepreneur and start trading online, start doing things online, and doing some sort of service or whatever they can think of. I think they can make a living in the whole crypto space.
Yeah, back to Sergey's point, like the borderless, like are we able to get a complete borderless like fully transparent? Any human right can do that, anything. I'm praying not. Reason it's not gonna happen. Let's say at least 10 years, and it's not gonna happen. You can see internet come out at what 30 years? 30 years already. Internet, still, right? It's not borderless. People do stuff. People do crappy stuff. In US, they still get caught eventually. So the country themselves have to protect their citizens. So like Rico said, we have a choice. Everyone has a choice to do something. So if China block us, we use VPN, right? If Chinese money is not good, we use USDT, and right, we have different choice, but then there's also risk or security, so they have to take by yourself. So the risk is if I use VPN, I might get caught, right? So it just, if we talk this, it's gonna be like hours. So I think, yeah, everyone have their choice, and then the government itself have their opportunity, not opportunity, have their responsibility to protect their citizens.
Yes, they have to have their responsibility, not a chance to control us, not the chance to track us. It's a responsibility to take us on safe. Yes, you're completely right. I'm totally agree. You know, Rika, now I got your point, and I see that what's happening inside of the Chinese is not marketed Chinese ideology, Chinese culture. That's why it's not question about money. It's question about the situation inside. Yes,
I think
guys,
there's a pros and cons.
Yeah.
Like what Chieh said, like there's cameras everywhere in China. There's pros and cons. For a foreigner like me, I think it's very safe for me to go anywhere, and I don't need to carry any cash anymore, because people won't steal my phone, even I put on the table sometimes, because if they steal my phone, it's captured somehow, and they know that phone is tied to my name, my passport, so someone can't use my phone number to do something illegal shit. If they try even to access my phone and get my bank account password, even they can hack it, they'll eventually get caught if they're in China. So look at that. How advanced is this country versus a country that you just, because of how strict is the legal system, you know, you get caught, you'll be huge punishment for you and your family, blah, blah, blah. That's totally different. So I think in a way, we have to view this regulations and how the government operates change the lifestyle of its people. If the Chinese people, citizens, are happy and feel secure living in their own environment, I think we had to congratulate the Chinese government. If they don't feel that their rights being taken away, if they don't feel that they have no rights to speak out, you know, I think then who are we to even comment on this country? You know, so I think that's where I'm coming from, where we are all global citizens. We live like a nomad everywhere in the world, you know, whether it's for long term or short term. For myself, as a foreigner living in China for the last 12 years, I come from very foundationed, simple human rights, where if I need to eat, can I get a food? If I'm sick, can I see a doctor and get treatment? All right. If I want to travel somewhere, if I can't drive, can I get someone to send me there? Public transport system, is it convenient to go around? You know, connectivities for businesses, for personal travel, leisures, and for basic work need. You know, quality of life, quality of education. You know, those sort of are the fundamental things that you will look into when you want to set up your family and you know, live the lifestyle you want to. And for example, I live in Shanghai for some time. I live in Guangzhou. I live in Qingdao. I live in Nanning. I live in even like small cities and Suzhou and all whatnot. I've been traveling to more than 130 cities in China alone over the last 12 years because I was doing trade fairs business back then. So whether it's first tier city, second tier, third tier, fourth tier city, we still go to expo and promote our products. So I realized that, look, people in the local smallest township are more friendly. They are very naive in a way. It just reminds me of my life when I was in Australia. The people in Australia are quite naive. If you talk to them about business or anything, oh yeah, it's good. It's so easy to do business with them because we are much more easy to deal with. But if you talk to the Chinese people into a business world, they have all kinds of strategies, all kinds of gimmicks and whatsoever. So you got to know how to do business with them. So it's a cultural differences. But back down to earth sort of thing, which is like all the fundamentals of life that you want, I would say China is a nice place to live in. I would love to live in Shanghai. I actually miss my lifestyle in Shanghai, so to speak. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. To us, join Kirill Mishanin. Kirill, nice to meet you here. Yes, my pleasure. what interesting happening? Just say us hello, Kirill.
Kirill.
Hi.
Looks like Kirill.
Hi, Kirill. Is he
Nothing
froze?
happened. Yes,
He's
it
frozen.
just stuck maybe.
I think he's frozen. Okay, it's okay.
Yes, you know, guys, what we see, unfortunately, internet is do not available in, I don't know, very highest level or for good speed for interact with each other. You know, as you can remember, just, I don't know, 10 years ago, a huge problem with voice. Now with voices, everything is done. It's over internet. I don't know, goes very smoothly and very good listening. But video is not work so much better. Maybe this year, all the telecommunication I don't know providers have to increase their connectivity between countries, between I don't know cities and around the globe to make sure that our connection is much more stable. To be our connection much more stable. You know. My last word, last but not least, is about authorization and hello, Kirill.
Hi, Kirill.
Hi guys. Right now I should to live on balcony because my connection in other rooms is not stable.
Looks pretty romantic there, bro.
But on balcony the perfect one. So I sit on the balcony in minus 13 outside.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Moscow.
Drink some vodka. Drink some vodka, bro.
Yeah.
Kirill, what do you think about I don't know, a couple of minutes ago we were talking about human rights on this online world, about internet, and I have to ask Chieh and Rico about what's going on, how they perspective on the China's perspective. They have already asked me, what's your perspective, how this new world should looks like? I'm talking about human rights in this digital space, because in real space we clearly know all that restrictions go online, but what's happening here? Because we have faced as Russian people here that it's going to be restricted from starting to 2021 from using anyhow digital currencies, anyhow any type. There's digital on your screen can be treated as a restriction, and you I don't know can be jailed or be an administrative some restriction. It is. Kirill, what's your perspective? How this new world should looks like?
Yes, first of all, as we have more data globally and big data appeared with all those online Zoom conference and all starting to work online. The previous company who work offline, they should to work online. It's reality. And those companies who integrate 5G as US and China, they will be the breakthrough countries, and everybody will concentrate in those countries. And once our government will understand we out of the business, it should happen if oil trades will be traded into Zoom, for example. If one guy who responsible for Lukoil, I don't know, Minobron expert or whatever, and he set up a voice with top investor from Dubai or wherever who would like to sell oil or weapons via Zoom. And if Zoom disappeared and he do not close for $1 billion contract, after it, everything will be changing immediately. So before that, for some countries is not opportunity at all. And those countries who already integrated and will be obtained further, it's a huge future because they covered the 80% of digital business for sure. Nice speed of internet, 5G, digital economic. For example, I was in Japan, I was in China. They already implement pass via in airport automatically. You just go verify your Face ID and you could pass through customers. It's already implemented. For example, when I booked in a hotel, and I do not see any people. I booked everything through machines. I just put my passport, click, I reserved this apartment, click pay, that's it. No any people. Even I purchased pizza in Japan, in Tokyo, no any know any person. So that's why for East countries, it's a big push to go through technology and go as soon as it's not blocked wherever. Once it's everybody blocked 100%, all IT guys will disappear from the CIS region. It's for sure. So,
you know, I want to believe in your words because I'm personally going to be disappeared, but I can't do it, really. I can't. I have all the willings, but I can't, unfortunately. You know, guys, what we hear, we see misleading. People from Russia, me and Kirill, clearly knows that in China, in whole Malaysia, in all Asia, everywhere 5G existed. You are just passing through all the airports. You are doing nothing to connecting to your wallets. What's happening? Why do you see that? It's no match, or it's no match with that. Why do you talk about problems? You know, we want to see the best world in another countries, and that's why maybe we're eager to be there, eager to be on that side. But we have to know what's going on inside in a right way. Rico, Chieh, why this, I don't know, new world do not already happens there? Because you are, as China, all the people around, even Americans, say that you are on the cutting edge of the technologies. You are the number one. You have all the opportunities, all the chances, all the technologies, all the devices. Rico, maybe.
What's your question again?
No, it's not the question again. It's from our perspective, looks like it's already existed. But you are saying that it's not happened yet, and we have a lot of problems yet. What do you see? What we have to do with our views or with our opportunities? Maybe we have to spread that acknowledgement to the people around the globe and say once more time, people, please engage in this industry. Please read that, read this, listen to us, listen to others. Chieh, what do you expect from the people around? What's your evangelist? Why do you do your product? Who use it?
Well, like, okay, as a ordinary people, right, in or wherever, in China, in Korea, in Japan.
You know, I don't know even one ordinary people. Every one of them are extraordinary. All of them are smart people. All of them are working.
Okay, let's say normal
problems.
normal people going on the street, like
people around. What's your
like they don't need to. I mean, they don't care about what the technology behind it, right? If we use the card, like the prepaid card to buy stuff, or credit card to buy stuff, they don't need to care about what they do behind the technology. All they care is it working? And right now, probably they will be more care about, is it fast enough for me, right? That's only they need to care about. So how do we convince them to say, hey, crypto blockchain is a good business, good way to invest? They probably say, I don't need to. I'm good. I can use my WeChat Pay. I can use my Alipay to buy vegetable, to buy whatever fish in the market. Well, why
Chieh,
I need to care?
Chieh, I'm sorry for interrupting. I am personally know about this Zoom even for 4 years, but till COVID not happens, I do not be here. That's why we have, I don't know, somehow to pushing for doing something. Yes, how do we find that pushing instrument? Yes, to do that.
Sergey, once COVID is over, we won't talk on Zoom anymore. We will meet face to face. That's the problem.
Yes, maybe. I'm not sure, but maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we'll meet face to face eventually more. Like right now, everyone has time to Zoom because we are not spending time on traveling and meeting people. So that's
the point. Like, there's nothing big happen in the current system. So there's nothing big happen in China, like WeChat Pay, Alipay. Nothing huge breach coming. Let's say one time a huge massive breach coming into that payment system. People will say, oh, is my money safe? Like saving those money in Alipay or WeChat. So they will start to looking for alternative way to save their money. So blockchain might be the next option for them. So you are right. We need a kick. It just there's not kick yet happen, right?
You know why there's no kick in WeChat? Pay and WePay and Alipay? Do you know why there's no
Can you
kick?
say that again?
Do you know why there's no such problem in
Because they cover
Alipay
their own
and
ass, right?
no, because it's controlled by the government.
Yeah. So they control it. Yeah.
So like, what's the difference between having a central bank monitoring them and having a independent body monitoring them? Of course, the central bank monitoring them is more effective.
Yeah.
Like, you're managing a country of 1.4 billion population, not like 30 million or whatever million in Taiwan. So like, scale of management is different. So I think in terms of that, they need to do that, because how are we going to know, for security purposes, how do I know this person fly from this side of the world to this other side of the world in the last 10 hours doing all this transaction? Because they are a world by themselves, 1.4 billion people. How many countries can be in that particular region? So I think that
right.
system,
So
in terms of one centralized, how powerful is a centralizing system that can monitor everything in the whole financial world by one centralized body? I mean, come on. And you expect it to be managed by a DAO by itself? Guys, let's be real. If you look at India, what's going on in India? You know, if they manage themselves, every state, and their own financial system, their own like token, shit, you have a lot of issue. So I think, look, it's a matter of how they can manage themselves, and we need to respect that, the choices they make. Yes, there's sacrifices on certain things, but I think there's smart people who can maneuver all these things. 1% of the smart people in China who is doing crypto is bring a lot of liquidity to the whole crypto space. 1%. You know, I was talking to my friend in India and said, hey, how is the crypto space in India? Oh, we are fucked, because there's all these restrictions, regulations around it. A lot of exchanges wanted to go into India market because it's big population. I think it's like, oh, another China, another Africa, or another America, or another Europe. But it's not easy because of the whole local system is so decentralized. So you have something so decentralized, you know, managing themselves, their own parties running their own management in the local area, versus a centralized government, communist country like Russia and China. Hey, it's there's pros and cons. I mean, looking at the quality of a lifestyle of these people living in those countries, I think they are benefiting from it somehow. Yeah. Hey, Gordon.
Hello, my favorite people. How are you?
Hello.
Rico, I love your background.
Thanks.
Yeah. Sergey.
Yes. I want to welcome Gordon Einstein to our discussion. Yes, we are talking about human rights in this, in this digital space, because in my opinion, first of all, we should have right to choose someone, to have a choice. And the second one, we have to choose from alternatives. And if you don't like someone, we do not have to enforce to use that. I have to turn around and go on my way. What do you think about it? Because when we see I'd say maybe Rico, from your perspective, you can describe in much more understandable way, because for me, English is not very native language, and I can't so much, I don't know, deeper describe what's the question about. That's why please do it for me, for Gordon, because he goes as American perspective, say me, why you don't write here, you don't write there. Please, I know, clarify for me.
Yes,
I'm not critical of you, but Rico, please give me your version.
I'm quite critical too sometimes. Now we're just discussing, bro, about the human rights aspect of things with our current state in terms of the digital economy. You know, how are we like in terms of what rights have we got now because of all these changes in regulations in the tech development side. So that's what we were talking about and discussing about before you joined in.
You know,
that's an interesting and broad topic. It also depends.
It is a very broad topic, because Sergey asked us about our human rights, bro. Like, and you were not here. So we're like, you know, Malaysian, Taiwanese, and a Russian talking about human rights. Like, we're missing the big part here, man. Like, yeah. So you should tell us about your right post-election. before the new administration come in, how's your rights like now?
My rights are fine at the moment, as far as I know, but I'm not the guy going on the street trying to burn down buildings because I can't afford what's inside.
Are they still doing that?
Huh?
Are they still doing that now?
It's not what it was because I think Biden is assumed to be the winner. I think if Trump had won, it would have been a lot of that. But in Portland, I don't think they ever stopped rioting. It just stopped becoming nightly news because it doesn't fit the narrative that everyone's trying to sell. But I think in Portland it's still going on. But I think in general it's calmed down. I'm sort of near Beverly Hills, and finally they're taking the wood boards off the buildings. Wow. So welcome to America.
So as long as you didn't vote for Trump, you are safe, right? Otherwise, I saw some tweets from the Antifa group like, "Oh, we are coming after you as we tweet, blah blah blah." I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Well, you know what?
It's like America comes back to the real life, yes, and
maybe we'll see.
Maybe, but you see that the keeping off the borders from the stores and from something else that looks like everything is come to being normal. Chieh, please engage in our conversation. I'm eager to know. Actually, so many people talking about identification and authorization. How this new world should looks like, because all of us now engaged in crypto world should remember that 20 words, or should that remember, I don't know, very difficult phrase, store that values on one paper or something else. Yes, nice to meet you. Yes, Rico, I see.
George.
George, you are here with us. Yes, George, I just have muted you.
Are you
yes.
in like a club?
Wow. George is always in the club.
This is Chris from Crypto today. This is in Washington. Where is the other guy? The other guy is in Moscow. They're all talking. I know.
Malaysia, Taiwan.
This is Rico is in Singapore. Nice.
Los Angeles.
Yes. Singapore, Laksa. There. Laksa, yes.
Yes,
so they do like blogging every week about blockchain, crypto.
Oh, nice.
And they do it live from Moscow. So Sergey, where are you?
Yes, I'm here.
I need light. Give me some light, please. Give us some light. We need light just for the. Oh, okay, perfect. Now we talk. There. Now we can see. Thank you.
I saw that space before.
Yes, for sure. We're familiar with
blockchain live.
Ah, yeah.
So blockchain live.
Yeah,
live.
I saw it before. Yeah, very good.
So that's it. So it's important. We have to go get your colleagues as well. So at least you get to see. But Sergey, you can take a photo of Sergey, right? He's like the co-host. He goes and introduces the speakers. Yes.
That's why I met you in Moscow, probably.
Yes, for sure.
Met you in Moscow? Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
There, look there, without the logo. That's it. Where is your colleague? Come up. We have two more people. Come on, we have a whole important people to meet. Where are the other guys? There's one missing. Wait. We got. Where is the other guys?
I feel like I need a beer.
Come.
I need a beer to participate in
Yes,
this.
I have muted him. Yeah, Gordon.
Okay. I think he's going to have his feelings hurt.
Yes, another person coming on
Okay,
stage.
waving.
Number one, tips in the world.
Wow.
Okay. Sorry, there's a good. Wait, we're not finished yet. Pleasure to meet you. So come and introduce you. We have a senator from Pakistan, digital senator. So I'll introduce you. We need the lights. So we have.
Hi, the digital senator.
So please introduce yourself.
Yeah,
this is Moscow.
I become the first digital senator of the world.
Really?
So now we are taking the cryptocurrency to Pakistan.
Wow.
Ooh.
So
Congratulations, guys. It's a big step.
So we have. This is also Moscow. So these guys are listening. They're doing mining as well. So you need to bring your miners.
Yes.
And they need also some gateways, international payment gateway, and CBDC.
Yeah.
Central bank digital currency.
That is.
So you heard it here first.
That is.
Okay, perfect.
So next time we go see Mr. Imran Khan. Yes.
Yeah.
The
We are going to see.
I see already.
Okay. We'll see one time more.
We'll see him again. No problem. Of course, the Minister of IT, Mr. Chaudhry, I visit many times.
He is for the science and technology.
Science and technology. And
Minister IT is with me.
with you.
Yeah, that is. Aminul Haq. He's from our, Mr. Amin is Minister IT. He's from my party.
In Islamabad.
In Islamabad, yes. And I'm also taking care of this. Now we have made this Digital Pakistan Network. And we have made first the Digital Pakistan Portal. And we are trying to make take 1 million business people on board on this platform, this portal.
Perfect.
Please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Well, actually, today we have 25 nationalities here in the event. Okay, just so we introduce ourselves, we have Moscow. So this is Latvia. See, we have full Russians here in the house.
No, I just speak Russian.
Oh, she speaks Russian.
My mom is Russian.
So she speaks full Russian.
Absolutely.
I only know доброе утро, добрый вечер, and спасибо большое.
You need to say очень красиво.
No,
want to be like very typical.
We have another colleague from Canada. America. Oh, U.S. Sorry, United States. I close enough. North America. Actually, we have a guy from America there. Say hello from California. Where is your colleague from California? San Francisco. Right here. No, we don't see you. You have to speak. He's not there.
Gordon. I'm in Studio City, Los Angeles.
Yes,
In Los Angeles. Gordon. Is in Boston. A little bit more cold.
I went to school in Boston.
You went to school in Boston.
Oh, where?
Which one?
Brandeis.
Huh?
Brandeis.
Brandeis. Boston College.
I'm giving thumbs up.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Number one. So we have a full house here. Let's go see Finland. Let's go say hello to Finland. This is Sweden. Let's say hello to Sweden. This is another top blogger from Sweden is here.
No, actually, I know all the top bloggers, and we met each other in Thailand. Yes,
You met this guy. Yeah, you are here. This is Sergey from Blockchain Live and from Moscow. So you can see you have to come to Dubai. You're missing everything.
yes, I have to. Yes.
The weather is good. Number one. Thank you. Come. We go to the next guys. Mr. Pekka. Where is Mr. Pekka? Come. Okay, Anton, come and say hello. This is Anton from Germany.
Hello, hi.
He's got his own new blockchain company and payment system here in Dubai, just established a few days ago.
Perfect.
With investment from Asia part of the world. So they're looking for new ideas. So here we have Moscow, then we have Los Angeles.
You have
Gordon, say hello.
Singapore. Hong Kong, I'm sorry. Hong Kong and Singapore here.
We have also Singapore. Where's Singapore? Singapore is here. That's Rico.
On Sunday, I'm in Singapore. Hi.
So next week, Singapore. Okay. Let's go say hello to Pekka. One more. We're almost done. Pekka is Finland. Okay, Pekka, come and say hello. Just 2 minutes. I need to borrow Pekka for. Okay, he's busy. Yes, boom. Cross is missing. Oh boy, these guys are busy. So anyway, guys, just to show you that today here we have a full house. About 25 different countries, all about blockchain, crypto.
Yes.
And definitely you're welcome to join us anytime. And DeFi.
Enjoy, bro. Enjoy.
This is Ahmed Rafai. Maybe you know Ahmed from Global Blockchain. Okay, good. Rico. This is Pekka. Pekka is from Finland.
Excellent event again. Thank you.
What's the name of the blockchain you guys have?
Iota Chain Mina.
Iota Chain Mina, which is
Decentralized data storage.
Decentralized data storage. Based on,
well, we are fork of EOS.
Fork of EOS. So that's it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it.
Looking for new nodes.
Well, we are now
looking for super nodes.
Expanding storage nodes.
Yes, exactly. That's great.
I think Bitcoin is good. I think Bitcoin is doing good. That's why everybody showed up.
Yeah.
They came to spend. They came to spend the Bitcoins.
You're still recording? Of course you are.
This is live.
1700,
There.
700.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17,700 just now.
Okay. Anyway, see
Okay,
what you're
George.
missing, Rico?
Okay, we have to go forward, George.
We have
Yes.
cybersecurity experts as well. Yes.
What is Maru? What is Maru? Maru is missing
He's
in the
not
picture.
here. He's not
Yes,
joining
Maru
today.
says that
Yeah,
he's
I
very
miss
busy.
Maru.
Yes.
No, he's not
Okay.
going to get into a cat fight today.
You
Sorry, I
gotta jump
joined
by
late.
someone else.
I joined late
It was a
today, but
dog
he is
fight the other
complete
day.
chaos. He is complete chaos. So trying to keep everybody in line
Have
and
fun, bro. Have fun.
of course. One last thing, I have to do this one. Let me see here if I can see. This is Project DeFi X. I think Rico knows about it, so he is happy to also talk about it.
I'm a super nerd of this. Yeah.
Super node.
Super nerd.
So Rico is number one in this one. Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Okay, pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Guys, I feel that.
So, what was the topic? Rico,
Yeah,
Human rights.
explain it.
Our rights were just taken off by George for the last 10 minutes.
So, the thing about freedom of speech is if you're speaking, sometimes other people, never mind. Okay, yes, please go on.
Rico, or Kirill.
What's the
Yes,
question,
Kirill.
guys? Because
There is no question.
It was about your human rights in the crypto space. How do you feel about your rights?
Actually, from myself, before I do not have enough crypto in my pocket, I am protected. When I have at least more than $1 million, I would not be protected.
No. You have to pay tax, otherwise you go to jail.
Exactly.
That's why I'm talking about that, right? And I'm looking for, engagement. I'm looking for advisement. I'm looking for support from other countries and the people around, because when I'm personally going to jail, you have to support me somehow, either keeping me out from that side and keep me from example, to United States or somewhere else, on Dubai or China, when I can.
Send us your crypto, we protect it for you, so you wouldn't get
yes. No, it's good way. It's good way to be protected.
Or you know how to do this. You will just create another wallet somewhere elsewhere that no one's know, and just store it there. There's no.
Yes, the problem of the money, once you have it, you have no chance to put it somewhere, because you start spend it, and you could not explain where you take this.
Then you should spend it on us. All here. Go to Dubai, have fun with George.
Yes, it seems this is how it happened. The guys who achieved a lot of Bitcoin, everybody in George party.
Is having a party tonight because of the celebration of the Bitcoin price. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good reason to celebrate.
Yeah.
So, Sergey, consider this also. There's human rights in the governmental sense, but as our lives move more online, as we are operating through our avatars and our agents, and as we operate through DAOs, I think there's a question about whether we're going to have human rights in those new forums or fora.
Yes.
Because and whether or not, and what would that look like? We may have to start implementing smart contract-based human rights. And there's also the question about, if you're a member of, say, of multiple DAOs, and they just have different, possibly incompatible sets of rights, how do you reconcile all of those? And then I think you may also, as we develop digital identity and digital citizenship, even in nation states, I think there's going to be a merger of these. So, we're in a weird place where our rights are no longer geography based as much. They're almost electronic and smart contract based. So I think that's I think George is very into this conversation. So
it's okay.
There's 35 nationals in that place, so I think you can talk about their rights whole night if they want to.
Yeah, we're not even counting the dual citizenships. I mean, that can be significant. So there is a sort of 5 flags theory, which is you plant different aspects of your life in different geographies. Like one place for vacation home, one place for your estate planning, one place for your banking, all that other stuff. you know, it was recently expanded to 7 because you have your sort of digital flags that you plant around. But there's a great quote, I think, from Nomad Capitalist. His quote is, "Go where you're treated best." So in some ways, you know, the rights we have is a choice, because if we're mobile, which a lot of us on this call are, you can select those rights. But I'm a little concerned because I would see a lot of people not participating in this revolution and getting stuck where they are. And, you know, you can see how quickly things can go bad. We're seeing it in the United States. I mean, things can turn on a dime. So just something to think about.
Okay. You know, I'm eager to know also, maybe from American perspective or Asian perspective, how that authorization and authentication and, I know, have a chance to appear somewhere should looks like. Because what I see in China, there is so many platforms or already existed something, technical equipments or technical instruments to be solved that problem. I don't see that in American space it's already existed, or just in European, or even in Russia. In Russian, so a little bit, but I think in Chinese, that kind of projects and that kind of instruments or programs and platform already exist. Guys, Chieh, Rico, do you have any information about that? Maybe you already purchased some stuff from the stores, you already passed through offices, you're going through airports, maybe something it's already happened with the money as well, maybe a CDBC that's going on in China, because it's new world. It's have to be without, it's going to be this hands-free. I don't have to have any device to work with it, to be still somehow, or to be care about where is it and how it looks like. Rico? Maybe so, in Singapore, it's very good country.
Singapore, I think they are pretty good as well. I think their uses of QR scanning apps is getting there. I think for me in Malaysia now, because Dunson is in Singapore, for me in Malaysia, I think this suddenly, because of the whole COVID, people are buying things using, you know, cashless and touchless sort of solutions. The whole QR code just became so popular. Everywhere we go, scan a QR code. Everything we pay, scan a QR code. Or we use a credit card with the Wave NFC function. I think that's what we are using in Malaysia. But in China, you're just using a phone. You order everything, you make payment, everything on the phone. Whether it's a QR code or not, you can just make payment and make order. So I think they are much more advanced. I think they are also having face scan solutions where you don't need a phone device anymore. Scan your face. Your face has been registered on Alipay or WePay or the payment gateway or the bank's app, and you can just take things and they will just scan you and confirm, and payment has been done straight away like that. So they are coming out with new solutions where there will be a 7-Eleven store or this sort of convenient mart that you don't need anyone to manage it. Everything is built with sensors. You can just walk in with a face recognition, grab your things, and you just walk out. So that itself is a revolutionary solutions, which I've seen with my real eyes when I was visiting JD.com's their HQ and saw those sort of solutions already 2 years ago. So and at many places you find that their technology is quite advanced. It's advanced metropolitan city solutions where a lot of things are very user friendly, digital, very, very efficient as well. So like boarding time for planes, they can get everything done. Everyone's so fast going on the plane with less than 20 minutes sometimes. So I was quite amazed over here in my...
Bring that to the United States, please.
Yeah.
I mean, United States, you need to take hours and you need to upgrade your infrastructure, because earlier on we were just discussing one of the reasons that a lot of technology you can't even transform is because of the infrastructure that's not being built yet as a foundation. Yeah. So you can't really move on to the next level without those foundation, like speed of data, you know.
And it's also sometimes hard to retrofit existing structures. Like if it's a greenfield and you're building from scratch, there's a lot of developing, you know, I don't even like to say developing countries anymore, but a lot of, you know what I'm talking about, it, like hot moving countries. They're building new cities and new areas from scratch, new buildings from scratch, new airports from scratch. So you can at least take into account current technology and maybe the next 5 or 10 years. You know, when you have Europe or the United States or maybe mostly Europe and the United States, you do have these sort of legacy setups, and you see with airports where at some point you just can't refresh the current airport anymore, but you have to build a second airport for the city, which kind of makes things more complex. So you have to manage the flight paths, and sometimes going back and forth between the airports, it gets to be challenging. Luckily, a lot of this infrastructure is, I think, digital and not necessarily large physical objects, so you can sort of retrofit, but it's always a challenge.
Yeah, so this sort of things takes time. Could be 10, 20, 30 years time to actually develop it. And it's so expensive. It costs billions, trillions to mobilize, and rebuild, demolish and rebuild and redesign, upgrades. So I think it's not as simple as what we all think, that we can just, upgrade, so to speak. It's easy to say, but the whole engineering work, transformation of the whole thing is a huge project to manage. It takes time. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the comments,
That's something.
Yeah, I mean, all the stuff coming up probably will start from a small company first. Like you say, Rico, you say the face scan. I remember in Shanghai, you can actually check in a hotel with a face scan. But then, in the pros and cons is I'm not Chinese, so they scan me, they got nothing. So which means I need to provide a passport again. Same thing.
I think you mean they had nothing. Now they got you.
Yeah. You're right. And same thing in Japan, right? Kirill say that he can just go to a hotel check-in with no one there. It's the same thing. They do it in a small scale first, then they can move on to a big scales. Like Gordon say, LAX is really hard to to change all the system, even for American citizenship. Like I need to still wait for almost an hour to get past LAX. This is so incredible. And then I think you have to pay what $100 per year to go to get that really fast pass, and that's just total.
It's not that bad, to be honest. That part. So there's two. So there's the new system, and there's Clear, which takes your iris scan, and you can just like walk through it. It's fast. Like I look for me, the perfect combination is Trusted Traveler, United Platinum, and Clear. With all those, I'm in and out. But no matter what, I still have to wait for my freaking luggage, because you can have you can have whatever biometrics you want, you can have whatever card you want, but it doesn't do you any. Wow, I got out of the plane first. That's exciting, which means I'm waiting for my luggage longer than everyone else.
Yeah.
So,
but from the plane getting a luggage to the luggage belt, it's the same old tech. It's still the guy driving the truck, moving the luggage using conveyor belt from the plane. And
like I want to go straight home and then have a drone deliver my luggage to my to my. That's the idea. Okay, guys, I'm starting that business right now. I'm gonna see you later. Like it's almost better when they lose your luggage, because then they're forced to deliver it to your house. Just a thought. It's like an efficiency hack. Put the wrong address on there.
Guys, from my what I see and what I feel, we have to somehow go into the development countries and go into the regions, and do not launch something new. We just have to implement already existing platforms, already good working stuff, and treating them and pushing them. Just come to us and use it. Just please use these new technologies or something else. Gordon says that no, is no chance to come up to this interesting place, to this interesting, because they want to keep their on their own, with their problems, with their opportunities, with their lifestyle. Am I right? Or we have to look around and say it's not affordable for me to live here and have to go there, and we have to deal with that on that way. What's your point of view?
Sergey, there's a great movie that you will know the name in Russian, but it's kind of like the laughter of fate, or the something of fate. It's from the Soviet Union times, where someone gets on the wrong plane, goes to the wrong city, but because all the Soviet cities were built in the exact same way, they don't realize they're in the wrong city. And they end up going to their apartment in some building, walk in there, there's another woman, not the wife, and they just kind of fall asleep in there because they're drunk. It's the movie that Russians watch every Christmas Eve, I think. There's
You know,
something of fate.
maybe Americans think so. Maybe Americans think so. But
I was in Russia watching it.
at least 5 years, no one looking at that. The idea, all of them get sick. Wow, the same story every New Year. You know, forget about that. That's why I'm talking. We are.
Okay, but sorry, but here's the point, which is things don't stay still. Things evolve,
Yes.
and there's different standards around the world. And there's especially now we're getting like Chinese standards, Western standards, European standards. There's a battle of standards. It's a battle of contractors. It's like, and no one quite knows what technologies are going to work and what they're not going to work. And there's also regional flavors. So, at some levels, it would be cool to have, everyone say, okay, stop. This is the technology. Everyone adopt this, but good luck. Because unless we're in a the point I was trying to make is unless we're kind of like in a Soviet style command economy type thing, where the regions and the states are under the control of the center, you're never going to get that level of commonality on a global basis. You may get it within China, for example, because they could probably pull it off. But I don't think you're going to get Botswana matching Boston. Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't be concerned. Yes, it's good way.
I believe that our challenge got into that. I will see that in Africa, in the next 10 years, there will be some cities that's much advanced than Dubai and much advanced than New York.
I probably wasn't perfectly clear. I don't mean they're not going to develop. I don't mean they're not going to build airports. The new Istanbul airport's better than anything in the United States. And when you look at the massive amount of Chinese and other investment going to Africa, and you look at the economies like Nigeria and South Africa doing well, I have no doubt that there's going to be, even if the continent as a whole, it's a mixed bag, I have no doubt that there's going to be extreme bright spots. What I'm saying is that to expect that everyone is going to implement their bright spots in a technologically similar way is kind of hard to ask for, because things are moving so fast, and there's so many different variables involved and so many different builders involved. So you may have the Kinshasa version of Dubai, but it's not going to be Dubai. It's going to be the Kinshasa version of Dubai. It's going to be, they're going to look at Dubai, learn from it, learn what to do, what not to do, and they're going to make their whole new mistakes based on the plan in 2025 or 2030. I'm not saying that they're not going to progress. I think they're actually going to progress very quickly.
Perfect.
That's what I believe too. Yeah.
I want to summarize today's event. I want to remind to Gordon that we're talking about Bitcoin, why it's not become DeFi, and is the topic from Chieh. Please summarize for today's events. We're talking about everything today. It's very pleasure to be with you guys, and have so much information around the globe, how it looks like everywhere. Chieh, please, for the Gordon, say why on this ball run, on this really interesting ball run, Bitcoin is not decentralized finance as it.
Well, you guys already know Bitcoin is not decentralized finance. So I'm just like, look at the price right now. Just look at the price right now. And look at George, how happy he is. Then you know.
George is so happy he doesn't even know he's on mute.
Yeah, he's a mute. He's a mute. So like, look at the price.
Hi guys.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
I am back, and this
so
is the famous guy that actually from Boston. I introduced him as a Canadian earlier, which is not good. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm listening, please. I'm all yours now.
Okay.
Oh, no problem. But yeah.
So Sergey, repeat the question, please. Go ahead.
Actually, it's not a question. So it's just a way of how we see Bitcoin right now, right? Bitcoin has been going good, and right now it's sitting what? Oh my God, 17,600. Right?
It's gonna hit 20. Oh, it hit 20 before the end of the year.
It will hit 20 without
when do you think it will hit?
20
before
for
the
sure.
end of the year.
Before end of this year.
Yes, no, even way before the end of the year. I tell you, by this end of this month, it will be 20.
Okay, then how much will you? Then will we ever see you outside of this club?
Then it will go down. Then it will go either. Then it will go down to 14, or it will go to 27. That's it. Simple as that.
But you are George
is
in the club.
there's a lot of options to sell. You understand? A lot of big whales are going to dump a little bit. So that's going to cause another
before Christmas.
Most of them,
New Year.
stock market crashes always happen end of November every year.
So everyone knows that happened every year. So that's ordinary. And
the question is, what point to what point? Yeah.
That leads to you. I cannot answer that. No one can answer that, right?
Josh, he just said it.
I told you, 14 will come back
up to
down.
20. Okay, 20,000 drop down to
20,
14.
14 or it will go to 27. That's the only two ways.
27. Right. So 27 and half. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So here, let me ask the group.
Okay, Gordon. Yes, I know that you have to go. It's perfect. Nice to, yes, my pleasure to have you today as well. I know that you're so busy. Guys, you know, for me, it's very interesting. So many people around selling Bitcoins. All my friends already has sold their Bitcoins. I don't know where are them. Maybe only from miners, coming out from miners, because there is no people. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they're here. They're here.
Sergey, me personally enter at the price of 9,000, my personal investment, and I don't plan to sell because I purchase equipment.
Guys, I have to go. Good seeing you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
I had him root for me.
Gordon, nice to see you.
Yeah.
And my personal point of view, as I marked before, so for long-term investment, you could enter once it's fallen down. For example, it's fall down to 9,000, the best way to purchase. And you need to exit at the end of the year once it's 2019. And it's happened each year. And if you sell once everybody buying, you are a correct guy. If you buy once everybody is selling, you are also correct guy. Don't do vice versa.
Okay.
Now time is to sell Bitcoin, not buy.
That's why I'm telling around myself or my friends already sold their Bitcoin. That's why there is no, I don't know who's buying and from where is buying. It's a very interesting question for me. Maybe that's why it's rised up so quickly, because there is so little amount, teeny amount of the Bitcoin appears on the market. Guys, I have to summarize today's event. Very interesting to be with you. My pleasure. Rico, Chieh, Kirill, George, Elizabeth, yes, my spouse also here with us. She is making this picture happen for our audience. Guys, I'll let you go. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for your interesting discussion and conversation. I will welcome on the next week. Please come us on our DTV and be with us. See you. Bye.
Thank you, Sergey.
See you guys.
See you, Chieh. See you, Kirill.
Bye. Here we go.
Bye.